Welcome back to Books and Movies Only Please. Today is episode number 14, and today we're not going to discuss one book, but we are going to discuss multiple books and how they relate to my life and when I was younger. So basically, the first book we are going to discuss is a childhood favorite series. It's read by everyone, every kid. Geronimo Stilton. Geronimo Stilton. So one thing I'll give you an interesting fact about this book and how I liked this book. So I always wondered who the writer of Geronimo Stilton is. I always looked at the back and I was like, I didn't see any writer. So I always wondered and wondered and wondered and wondered. There never used to be like, there's usually like a one line that says, this book is written by someone. Like, it says here, J.K. Rowling, Judy Bloom, John, by Abby Klin, Jeff Kinney. It says who's written by. It never said who Geronimo Stilton was written by. So I was a person when I was young and I never used to see the internet. I never used to watch the internet. So I was like, who was the writer? I asked my teachers and they're like, we don't, what? Because it just didn't say. I was so confused. So the favorite memory of this book was that my teacher in grade two used to read me this book like out loud in front of the class after lunch, and it used to be like a really exciting time because she used to read like Geronimo Stilton. She used to read any book that our class wanted her to read. It was such an exciting time. It was really fun. It was something that it wasn't continued in later grades, but like I wished it would because it was really like it was one of my favorite times of my like the whole school day, and that this happened in grade two. I continued reading it to grade three, four, five. Recently, like last year, I stopped reading it. And then another book that my grade two teacher read to us was that read to me and read to us, read to the class was I keep forgetting the book's name. Sorry, Ready Freddy. I'm sorry. I think it's Scary Freddy. I don't know why, but it's Ready Freddy. And I think this was the first book that she read to us for on this series. It's a big series, and the series was Help! A Vampire's Coming. And the one thing I really remember from this book was that Ready Freddy, like he's scared of vampires or something, and he learns that garlic like keeps the vampires away. So that's one thing that I'll always remember from this book, and I still do remember. Although like I think I read like my teacher read this book to me like 5 years ago, more than that. Let me think. 5 years ago, basically. That's a long time ago. But I remember that. I still remember that one thing. Another book. So this is grade two. Grade two. This is grade four. So Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. The boy. I forgot the. I think his brother's name is Fudge. I'm not sure. I think it is. Basically, this boy is in fourth grade, and I read this book in fourth grade, so I can sort of like there's some similarities, and I can sort of see some same things in him that were in me in grade four. Although I don't have a sibling, so basically this boy he has an annoying as the picture looks. He has an annoying brother named Fudge. I'm pretty sure it's called Fudge. His name is Fudge. I don't know, but he has an annoying brother, and there's like 3 4 books. I read the whole series. Amazing, amazing by Judy Bloom. It's a number one New York Times best-selling. She's a New York Times best-selling author. Written excellently well. I read the whole series, and then later on, this boy right here gets another sister whose name's Tootsie. Like later on, and it's actually like pretty funny because he gets so annoyed by his one brother. He gets more annoyed by his younger sister that who comes in the later half of the series. So it's really really interesting, really funny, really like it's extremely funny, and it's a good book to for your pastime, I guess. Grade five. This was so grade two, grade two, grade four. Now a year later in grade five. So this is when COVID was going on. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So we basically, I don't, I think in most classrooms, our teacher had like this like mini library in the back of the class, like in the back of the classroom, and then like every day or like once a week, you get to like borrow books, and you get to borrow books and stuff. So one day I was like, I always heard of the name of Harry Potter and Harry Potter, and it was one of the books like which I always heard of, but I never read because I thought it was too long. And I read the first. It was this happened in grade five, so I read the first few pages, and the first thing that came to my mind was like how the book smells. So if the paper, like printed paper, has this special smell, and I used to love the smell of like Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stones, like the pages itself. There's always that's one thing I'll always remember. And basically, I think she had these type of books. If you know now, there you can usually find there's like a purple and black cover, but this is the old cover. I think she had this exact cover, the old one. And I was like, I read the first few pages, and then I stopped. I just stopped reading. I didn't like it. I don't know why, but then later on, the year later, in grade six, I actually liked it a lot. I continued on to read the series. Another book is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So, Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kenny. Kenny, I'm used. There's multiple movies, animated ones, and real life ones as well. So, Diary of a Wimpy by Jeff Kenny is like a really is basically about a boy in middle school, Greg Heffley, and there's about 12 to 15, there's 15 books, and there's always one that comes out in like October. I think that's when a new book comes out every year. And this book is so Jeff Kinney does his own pictures and does the writing himself. So it's like, think of a diary, and there's a picture. Think of like a diary sort of format of writing, and there's a picture, and then like again like writing picture. So that's the format of this book. It's funny as well. A really good, one of the most popular books that you'll ever like in this like like in this time in today's day and age. This book is read by everyone. Every kid will all if even if they hate like reading, they will read this book for sure. And another book that I forgot to include is and then it happened. I'll show you guys and then it happened. Um, let me see. So this book, this series, I'll try to get yeah. Basically, um, basically this series and then it happened by M. N. L. Wade. There's two authors of this book. It's extremely funny and extremely like comedical. And it's like it's so like exciting. So basically, there's like multiple stories, and there's like three main characters. There's the narrator himself, Gordon, who's the troublemaker, who's like sort of the lead character, and Pablo. These are three three amigos, the three best friends, and they basically they're Canadian. So one thing that I first I had a friend in grade four who used to love this book, and then it happened. So there's like it's basically there's like every chapter is its own story, own funny story. It's extremely funny. It's one of those extremely funny books. You gotta read it. Like some of the stories are extremely funny, and the way he writes it, it's just so funny. So in grade four, basically, one of my friends, he was like he used to love this book. Whenever we used to go to the school library, he used to always get that book, and I was like, "What's so good about this book?" Because he used to read it so much. And basically, the author of this book, since he's Canadian, he came to our school. But oh, sorry, he came to our school. But the problem was that we weren't select. It's like think of a school. It's like thousands, like dozens of classes. So they did a random draw to select which grade four classes could go to like to meet him. We sadly didn't get to meet him. I know it's extremely sad because he's and then because he's just, I didn't realize at the moment, like at that time, but when I later read his books, I realized that this author is amazing because some of his these authors, sorry, there's not one author, these authors are amazing because the way they write and the way they like, I don't know, it's so funny. If I try saying one of the stories, it's not gonna be funny, but the way they write it, it's extremely funny. So basically, Geronimo Stilton, grade two, Judy Bloom, Tales of 4-3 Nothing, grade four, Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone, grade five, Help a Vampire's Coming, grade two again, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, grade what's it? I think in grade five I started reading it first. No, yeah, grade five in COVID. So another cool thing about this book was that basically it was COVID, so the library only allowed curbside pickup. So I'll always remember I had to like the first book I ever read of this series was I got it like by curbside pickup. So that was extremely like weird and different. And then of course, and then it happened grade four. So I've had some many series, many good books I've read, many good memories from these books, and I think all the teachers. I saw on Teachers Day is probably in May or something, but if it weren't for these teachers, I wouldn't be able to like. They introduced me to the passion of reading, and I thank them so much because teachers, it's a hard job. Many countries, certainly in the United States and Canada, in Canada certainly that there's a lot of teacher strikes because they don't get paid well. It's a really hard job. So I think all the teachers today, and in the comments below, just say biggest shout out to all the teachers. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember like, share, and subscribe. That's a new word. And thank you so much for watching. I know today was a long episode. It's about 12 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed it. And please remember like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. And thank you so much for spending your time with me.